By name, I'm called OMONDI OLOO'S. I'm a Gen Z of this country, I'm a member of this country, and I love peace as a Gen Z.
So you as a Gen Z, these things where we think your fellow Gen Zs are saying NANE NANE. First, what is NANE NANE?
NANE NANE, in my view, it is an English term. It is 8-8. But apart from being 8-8, the Gen Zs have agenda for that day. They are saying they are going to have a million march so that the country can know, and even the government can know, that the young people of this country are not happy with the governance of the country. Thank you.
So you as Gen Z, what's your take on? Will you support or will you go to street that way?
As a person, as an individual, I would not participate. The reason I would not participate, at the first point when we went for demonstrations as Gen Z, there are issues that we raised to the government. And a good percentage of those issues have been addressed by the government. So at my capacity, I feel we need to give government time so that they can check into those issues that we raised at our first demonstration, second, third, and fourth, when we invaded Parliament.
So we saw in the first demonstration or in the first maandamano, most of the people are supporting most of the Bunge la Wananchi. Why is it that, or why do you think that most of the Bunge la Wananchi members are now against the Gen Z movement?
Okay, at the beginning, the Gen Z movement was an economic liberation. As much as it was an economic liberation, we were fighting for the government to drop the finance bill 2024. Secondly, we wanted accountability in government. We wanted the same government to fight corruption. And top on the list was to fire the cabinet secretaries, which the president did fire. After that, as a person, I was expecting the Gen Z, to give the government time so that the government could reconstitute a cabinet that has the face of Kenya. And as things are currently, we have seen the government or the president has constituted a cabinet that is showing the face of Kenya. Therefore, I feel we need to give the government more time to check into those issues that we raised as the Gen Zs.
Okay, now you're saying that you see that you should give the government more time. Do you think President William Ruto made what he means by recruiting or by appointing some of the ODM members? And my children, you have to know that these people, they are not Gen Zs. I don't know that even millennials. I'm not sure. So do you support the move by President William Ruto?
Okay, I support the move by President Ruto because number one, if you look at our Kenyan constitution, it recognizes Kenya as a regional country. It recognizes Kenya as a multi-political democracy. It also recognizes Kenya as having ethnic backgrounds. And therefore, when we are reconstituting a government, it needs to have Kenyans. It need not to have Gen Zs alone. Because when you're talking about Gen Z, it is discriminative. Because Gen Z is a generation, I want to believe, between the years 1997 and 2012. The rest of the generation is left out. So when Ruto is reconstituting a government or is reconstituting a cabinet, the Gen Zs, we said, we want accountability. We didn't say that Gen Zs must be part of the cabinet. We wanted those who were involved in corruption cases, like were mentioned, like Mithuka Linturi, to be sent home, which the government did. Therefore, bringing new members into the cabinet, I think that is a good win. Because the people that Ruto has brought into government, if you look at meritocracy, you look at their track record, there are people that have good track record. For example, we have John Mbadi, who has taken the Ministry for Finance. We have Oparanya, who has also been given a ministry. We have Ali Hassan Joho. We have the likes of there's this gentleman for water and agriculture. These are people that, if you look at their record, they are people who have track record that can be followed. We wanted accountability. And these are new people who have been brought into cabinet. So what we need to do, we need to give them time so that we can see what they can do. If I checked the vetting that ended yesterday, these are people, when they were presenting themselves, they had issues and they had Kenya at heart from what they were saying. So I believe if these people are given time, then we get a conducive environment for service, then they shall deliver. And that's what we want as a country. Yes.
Okay, now you have talked about, we said that some of they were having cases. And also we've seen in the newly recruited or the newly nominated CSS, the former governor was also having some of the cases. So why is it that now you you are saying that the former governor is clean and the Tinkan Turi who are having some corrupt cases are not clean?
We have ethics and anti-corruption. Then we have DPP. These are two bodies that have different mandates. Ethics and anti-corruption, they're supposed to go and check if you have that corruption. Then prosecution is for DPP. So if the DPP has cleared that Oparanya is ready for vetting, then I don't see it myself at my capacity to still force Oparanya not to go for vetting, because it is not my responsibility to do prosecution. There's a body, there's an independent body that is paid by taxpayers' money to do that work. If that body has confirmed that Oparanya is clean and is supposed to be going for vetting, at my capacity, I have no any other authority to say that Oparanya is not clean. Therefore, EACC, they need to be very honest. They need to do their job, then hand it to the next authority. Handing it to the next authority is DPP, so that the DPP can take course. But if DPP has said, let Oparanya go for vetting, I have no capacity to avoid, to tell Oparanya not to go for vetting.
Okay, I hope you said you are a Gen Z. Which Gen Z, they used to say that Gen Z is partless, is worthless. What's your opinion, or what's your say? Which party are you supporting?
Kenya is a multi-party democracy when we are talking about politics, leadership and governance. The Gen Z movement was not politics, leadership and governance. Gen Z was an economic liberation. We went out to the streets to fight for good governance and to ensure our economy is at the position it's supposed to be. We were not fighting so that we can have leaders. And that is why I disagree with most of us who are telling Gen Zs to present their leaders. To present their leaders in doing what? As a Gen Z, what we need accountability. We need leadership. We need governance. And all this can take place even minus us presenting a leader. When the right time comes for politics, leadership and governance, we shall present leaders who shall participate in politics and go against those that we feel are supposed to be going home.
And do you think Raila hijacked the Gen Z movement?
No. Raila did not hijack the Gen Z movement. The reason I'm saying Raila did not hijack the Gen Z movement is because of this. If you look at the history of Raila Amolo Odinga is the pioneer of demonstrations in this country, the Mandamanos. Raila's been holding Mandamanos even before the advent of Gen Zs. Look at Finance Bill 2023-2024. Raila took people to the streets. He was fighting for economic liberation. And by 2023, that is when we went for the NADCO. That is when we went for that, we went and sat down so that we could solve these issues. It had not been solved. The Gen Z just came on the way. The process Raila has been going with is a process that has been going on. It is only that it is a coincidence. Ruto has dissolved his cabinet, then Raila has brought people to cabinet at a time that Gen Zs were on the streets. Remember, when Gen Zs we began the struggle, we told Raila to keep away from our demonstrations. Indeed, Raila kept away. Again, we've told Raila to keep silent on our demonstrations, and Raila has not told Gen Zs not to demonstrate. Raila has allowed them to do their activity. But in matters negotiating with government, because the constitution is very clear. The constitution is talking about Kenya to be a multi-party democracy. It means that our political parties have space in leadership and governance, and that is where Raila comes in. Remember, Raila is a party leader. He's a leader of ODM. It means if ODM is supposed to be going for negotiations, if ODM is supposed to be going for debates, Raila is at the position to debate and negotiate on behalf of ODM. You understand? And ODM as a party has registered members. And in ODM, which I am a member, we have a leader. And that leader is Raila Amolo Odinga. And Raila can talk for us. Gen Z was not a political party. Gen Z was not a leadership movement, but it was a movement for economic liberation, which they are free, we are free to continue with if we feel the economy has not been solved.
Okay, what can you tell the Gen Z? Because the Gen Z, they were accusing Raila that Raila has hijacked the movement, but you now are saying that you have the contrary opinion to what according to them. So what can you tell the Gen Z?
The Gen Zs are not accusing Raila. We only have some individuals within Gen Z who feel that Raila has betrayed them. Number one, this group, remember Gen Z, this is a generation. This is a group of people. They come from all over the political divide in this country. There are Gen Zs who are supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. There are Gen Zs who are not supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. If you're very keen, look at the most Gen Zs who are saying Raila has betrayed them. There are people who have never even supported Raila Amolo Odinga since they had the voters card. So it is normal for political reasons for them to feel that Raila has betrayed them. Because if you look at the Gen Zs who have been supporting Raila's movement, they're supporting Raila today. For example, myself, I support Raila Amolo Odinga, and I'm a Gen Z. I support the move by Raila Amolo Odinga because peace is everything in this country. We cannot risk our country to go down for the sake of Raila not negotiating with Ruto to bring stability in the country. For peace to prevail, people must come down, people must sit. Even in your house, if there's a problem, you have to sit down, you have to agree, look at where the problem is, then you find solution. Yes.
Okay, I just want you to summarize for me. Where do you think Raila is taking Kenya? Or do you think Raila is taking Kenya anywhere?
Raila is taking Kenya to the best destination.
How?
This is the reason. Raila is an economic liberator. Raila is one person who believes in social justice. Raila is one person who believes in social empowerment. Raila is one person who believes in improving the life standards of the people. And that is the reason I feel Raila is taking us in the right direction. Because look, before Ruto dissolved government, or before Ruto dissolved his cabinet, there was tension, there was chaos, and there was quagmire in this country. But since Raila talked with Ruto, sat down with Ruto, they dissolved cabinet, then brought new members into cabinet. Up to this point in time, there is peace in the country. If you look at communities that have not enjoyed being part of government, today they are part of government. If you interrogate them, you'll hear them saying, we are comfortable now. Look, we have positions that have never gone to some regions in this country. And our constitution recognizes this country as a regional state. It means therefore, if we are forming a government, all the regions need to be considered. And today Raila has talked with Ruto and has ensured that we have a broad-based government where leaders have even come from Nyanza, for example. They have come from Western, for example. They have come from Coast region. It means it is now bringing Kenya together. Raila is looking at this country as one democratic state. Are you there? And when we are talking about democracy, democracy is a rule of the people, by the people, and for the people. You get? Therefore, any other person who is a member of this country has qualifications, has opportunity to be part of government. And if you look at what Raila is always championing for, it is for the goodness of this country. If you look at last year when we went for the demonstration, we were talking about economic liberation. We wanted the life standard to go down. Remember, by the time Raila was taking us to the streets, unga was around 240 shillings. Today, if I go to supermarkets, I go to the shops, I'll buy that unga at 100 shillings. What does that mean? It means Raila has fought for economic liberation. There is the life standard that has gone down in terms of unga, for example. So I believe Raila is taking us in the right direction.
Yes. Okay, now, according to now, we are in ODM, and you have said that you're agency and also an ODM member. We saw that what President William Ruto did, he just picked the ODM officials. Do you think this one can mess with ODM?
This cannot mess with ODM. Do you know why? In politics, there's what we call political transition and political continuity. Political continuity, it means that one person in leadership today, if they cease to exist, we have other leaders who will take over those positions. Remember, the leadership of ODM, by the time they were being appointed to cabinet, they were not the first leaders of ODM. They were just leaders who were continuing leadership in ODM. When they exit the scene today, we have members already of ODM. In fact, ODM have over 1 million members who will take those positions. And that is the reason I'm saying, if the top leadership has gone, we are going to get a new top leadership who are even better than those who are in those leadership positions. Because we have a number of leaders who are competent, have qualifications, have good track record, who will take those positions and drive the party forward. Remember, Edwin Sifuna today is the Secretary General of ODM. At one point, we had Professor Nyang' Nyong'o who was in ODM. John Mbadi was an ODM chairman. Before John Mbadi, there was this gentleman from Rift Valley called Kosgei, was a chair. When Kosgei left, nobody knew Mbadi. When Mbadi came, Mbadi served as a party chair. So today Mbadi has left. We are going to get a new chair. Oparanya was the deputy party leader. He has left. He has got into the cabinet. We are going to get a new party leader who is going to step into the shoes of Oparanya and deliver the party to the right direction. So I don't think ODM there's any vacuum. There's no vacuum. We are going to get leaders in those positions, and ODM is going to be more strong. Yes.
Okay, I just want to take you back. Now we just want to check on the youth leadership more. So the youths whom we are having now are the Gen Z. Do you think Gen Z can take Kenya anywhere?
If given opportunity, Gen Z can take Kenya somewhere.
How? Being that they are leaderless.
You know, currently we are not doing politics. We are not in political campaigns. When the right times come for political campaigns, with the young generation, with the youthful leaders, we'll go for elective positions. We shall tell Kenyans what we feel we can do for them. We shall tell Kenyans the positions we have in matters of value, in matters of leadership, in matters of governance. If 2027 comes, we shall contest for positions. We shall convince the people, if given opportunity, we can do 1, 2, and 3. But for now, there's no reason Gen Z should have leadership, because we are not going for political positions. It is a movement fighting for economic liberation, which we can fight for even minus leaders. As long as we know the cause, then we go for it.
I have a question for you. Do you think there will be a Gen Z unity after they have been electing their leaders?
You know, politics is dynamic, and politics is interest. And at my capacity, I believe we have only 2 laws that guide us in politics. There's the law of convergence and there's law of divergence. The law of convergence here will bring us together if our interests tally. If your interest and my interest are moving in the same direction, we shall be in the same line. If your interest and my interest are diverging, they are not in the same line, we shall go different ways. So I really don't want to preempt Gen Z being together post 2027 or not being together. It depends on, now when we get to leadership, what is your interest as a person? Do you have the interest of the people at heart? And I believe most Gen Zs have the interest of the people at heart. And therefore, if they have the interest of the people at heart, they shall converge. It therefore means they shall be together. Yes.
Okay, do you think the others new leaders who want to be behind the Gen Z, do you think they will succeed?
No, those are as in your leaders, those are opportunists. They are not Gen Zs in the first place. Let them keep to their lanes. They have their parties, let them drive the agenda of their party. If they are in Azimio, for example, let them drive the agenda of the Azimio. As a Gen Z, we know what we want. And there is no vacuum of leadership in Gen Z. You understand? If the right time comes for politics, let Gen Zs come out, let them present themselves for political positions. And even there is space to form a political party, as long as it shall meet the standards of political parties registers. You understand? Whereby it shall not be discriminative. You get? So if Azimio leaders want to cling on Gen Z, I would call them opportunists, and they should run away from being closer to Gen Z. Gen Z, we know what we want, and there's no vacuum of leadership in Gen Z. So Azimio to keep off, to be Azimio, those are the political parties to keep off. As a Gen Z movement, we shall give direction when the right time comes for politics. For now, we are fighting for economic liberation.
Okay, I'm seeing the time is not on our side, but I only have one question which I want to ask you. Only one question, and I want you to answer me the shortest possible. So, according to you, what is the percentage of the Gen Z leaders do you expect in 2027 to be in the national government?
In 2027, I'll use statistics and I'll use data. Gen Z and the youthful generation carry 70% of Kenyans. It means there are a larger population in voters. So my prediction is that at National Assembly in 2027, and this is an advice to the Gen Z, let us present leaders for these positions.
They are not. They don't have vote cards.
We are going to have leaders when the right time comes. Now we are talking about economic liberation. When we are talking about politics, we shall present those leaders. And in fact, you shall see some of us in the National Assembly and in County Assembly, because we have knowledge, we have gone to school, we have capacity and everything to lead this country. And I predict in 2027, watch the space, 60% of the National Assembly is going to be the young generation. Almost 80% of our county assemblies is going to be the Gen Zs. 20% of our governors are going to be the Gen Zs. And possibly in 2027, we are going to have a president who is a youthful leader.
Do you agree with what most of the people are saying, that what your father or your grandfather can see while sitting down, you cannot see while standing up?
Those are silly statements. These are statements brought by the older generation to discriminate people. Because when you're talking that a young man can see something while seated and I'm standing, I cannot see something, that is a mere statement. If you're seated down, you are at a low altitude, I'm higher. I'll see what is above. Are you seeing there? Then when it is talking about leadership and governance, what can you see? No, there's what is called being a realist and idealist. A realist will see something like it is. If it is maize, it is maize. If it is marago, it is marago. Let us not say that now it is white, now we can confuse it to be cotton, for example. Let us talk things like they are. And that is why you'll realize that those who have this perception of what somebody can see while seated, I cannot see while standing, that is why they fail. Because they don't want to be realist. They don't want to see things like they are. Hawataki kuona vile vitu ziko kwa ground. Nanipata. So those statements like Gen Zs cannot see what the political elder class have seen while they're seated is a total lie. Let us give people time, we work together, then see the result at the end of the day.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I think now you have enjoyed and you have listened to what the Gen Z himself has said according to our political, what's going on in Kenya. So I just want to give him 1 minute to say the last word and also to remind the Kenyans his name.
Okay, I said at the beginning, I'm OMONDI OLOO'S. To Kenyans, let us be privy of what is taking place in the country. Kenya is our only country, and we need to preserve this country by ensuring we have peace. As a person, I'm a contractor. I believe in peace, and peace shall ensure that I get conducive environment for economic growth. If there is peace, our country shall move forward. If we embrace a conversation, then we shall find solution. We should not go for war to find solution, because choices have consequences. If we go for war, we are going to destroy this country more than if we sit down and deliberate and have very meaningful things on the table as the agenda for that debate. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. We are eagerly waiting to host him in our night show at 10 p.m. Thanks for watching.